What is up, YouTube? It's your boy, The Walk 71 replaced with a 4, and I'm back. 2021. I am back with another wrestling review for the YouTube channel. My first review in a good minute, because I think the last review I did was TLC, if I'm correct, and I completely skipped over Wrestle Kingdom for like 2 years in a row, and that's completely my fault. By the time I finally caught up with the show, it was already like the middle of January, so I was just like, I'm gonna have to take the L. I'm gonna have to just take the L with the review. With that, great shows though. When I did catch up, especially the Ibushi Jay White match, I really enjoyed that match, especially the ending of that match with the visual of Jay White still thinking the match was going on after he lost, and he's grabbing Ibushi after Ibushi pinned him and everything. I enjoyed that. That was pretty cool. But we're not here to talk about New Japan as much as I want to. We're here to talk about that company, WWE Royal Rumble 2021. One of the few pay-per-views I actually look forward to every year from WWE. No matter how terrible the product gets, no matter how stale it gets, no matter whatever happens, the Royal Rumble is always a pay-per-view I look forward to every year. It's Royal Rumble for me, Money in the Bank, and that's about it. I'm not gonna lie, that's about it. So anyways, let's get into it. So first we had a kickoff show that was made earlier in the night. WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus the Raw Women's Champion Asuka and Charlotte Flair, who are the WWE Tag Team Champions as well. This match, I don't even remember it being announced for the pay-per-view, but I guess it was, and it happened. It was a match. It was cool. Nia and Shayna ends up getting the titles back and becoming two-time tag champs in the process. For the most part, the match was cool. It started off hot with just Asuka and Charlotte actually looking like a team, doing kicks and chops on Shayna Baszler. And then once Nia Jax got involved, that's when the match started to slow down. She was putting Asuka in, all type of wrestling hoes. But the highlight of this match was towards the end, this overbooked finish of a match where first you had Shayna Baszler being put in the figure eight. Then not even before that. Ric Flair comes out. Now he has an allegiance with Lacey Evans, and I guess his gimmick now is that he doesn't want his daughter to succeed, which is weird. Instead, he's just gonna help Lacey Evans succeed. So she comes out. She distracts multiple times, and it gets to a point where she gets handed the loaded brass knuckles. She punches Charlotte in the face during the figure eight, and then Shayna Baszler was able to pin her and get the titles back. It was just a lot going on in the last couple of minutes of the match. It is what it is. Ric Flair, he got involved at one point. He knocked Charlotte down when Shayna Baszler put her in a chokehold. It was all types of stuff, and I just felt like there was a lot going on for a pre-show match or whatever. But it is what it is. Nia Jax and Shayna retained. They should have never lost the titles to begin with. But hey, it's cool. So we open up the pay-per-view with the match that everybody did not want to see, including myself. WWE Championship match. We have Bill Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. When this match was first made, everybody had the whole sigh of relief. Not sigh of relief. That was after the match. There was just a big sigh at the end of Raw. Was it Legends Night or whatever? You know how WWE does their little Legends Night when the ratings go down. And Goldberg just came out and cut a very dementia-esque promo where he just went on about Drew disrespecting the Legends, and Drew didn't even say anything. And then it went from that to now they're having a match because he says, I'm Goldberg and you need to face me because I was a WWE legend even though I was in WCW. But the match itself was the most Goldberg match ever, and it was great what it was. Before the match even started, Drew McIntyre hit Goldberg with the Glasgow Kiss and then hit him with a spear. And then after that, Goldberg kicks out and he tries to go for another spear or a claymore, but Goldberg moves out the way. He then proceeds to throw Drew McIntyre into the stairs, spears him through a barricade. Drew McIntyre is selling death. Goldberg hits him with another spear. Then I think at some point Drew McIntyre hit him with a Claymore and he kicked out, and then Goldberg hit the jackhammer, botched it. Of course, it wouldn't be Goldberg match if he didn't botch one of his moves. One of his only 2 moves he does in the match. It wouldn't be Goldberg if he didn't botch it. Drew McIntyre kicks out. After that, pretty much the momentum changes to Drew McIntyre's side eventually. Hits Goldberg with, like, I think 2 Claymores, and then he just ends it. And then after that, Goldberg shook his hand, and it looked like he was about to give him a dap, like he was black or something. And he raises Drew McIntyre's hand in defeat, and Drew McIntyre reigns supreme as WWE Champion. Honestly, I will give this match props. Drew McIntyre looked like a serious champion when he made his entrance and after. Like, I just liked how his presence, he wasn't coming out. He came out serious, and he never kept his eyes off of Goldberg the whole time, like during his entrance. I thought that was pretty cool. But hey, sigh of relief. I mean, as much as I didn't think Goldberg was gonna win this match, I said the same thing last time when he faced Bray Wyatt, and I didn't think he was gonna beat the Fiend, and he beat that man and took his title. So it's a huge sigh of relief, but the night is not over, so maybe Goldberg. Well, by the time you got this, you know who won the Rumble and who competed, but we'll just say Goldberg. And also, Goldberg came out with these nasty ass hooping shorts, like he's about to go do a game of 21 after this or something. But anyways, we move on to another championship match, SmackDown Women's Title match, Carmella versus Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks with the LV Louis V attire, Carmella with her sommelier Reginald. This is basically a rematch from a match they had at the last pay-per-view. For the title. I mean, this is pretty much all Sasha has been doing since she's won the title, which kind of hurts her momentum a little bit to me. But at the same time, I mean, I don't think they have any other real. They really don't have any other women that they using, because they put Bianca. Well, before this, they put Bianca and Bayley into a feud, and then I guess Carmella was just like, okay, you're up next. Cause I can't think of anybody else that's a singles competitor, because you got the Riot Squad, but they compete in the tag team matches. Billie Kay is like involved in that. Natalya, no. Tamina, no. So I guess Carmella was just the next woman up. So in this match, I mean, it's pretty standard. Sasha Banks won with the bank statement. It wasn't really nothing crazy that happened in this match, to be honest. There was one cool part Carmella did. It's probably the coolest thing she's ever done in her career. No, I'm just playing. She caught Sasha Banks with a super kick in midair, and then caught her with another super kick. Reggie got involved in the match, before he was thrown out, cause he caught Sasha Banks and she hit him with, I guess, like a tilt-a-whirl something, and the referee just took him out. But other than that, the match was just standard, Carmella Sasha Banks match. Ain't nothing crazy happened. At one point, Carmella hit the code of silence. Sasha Banks countered it, and she then eventually countered it into the bank statement, and she tapped out. So hopefully that's like the end of this feud between these two, because honestly, I'm not interested anymore. It's time, and we know the feud now for WrestleMania, as so long as everything goes well. Can't predict this company. So after that, we got a performance. Well, actually, before that, we got a segment with Xavier Woods and Big E, Intercontinental Champion. I was going to say Kofi. They came out and they had on matching gear. And I didn't know what it was at first. And then Kofi came out. My man's got new type of dread style and whatnot. He really going crazy. And it comes to find out they have on Brody Lee gear, Luke Harper / Brody Lee gear. And I thought that was incredible. And they actually wore it in the Rumble, and I thought that was great because, you know, RP Brody Lee, great wrestler, RP to him. And I'm glad that they was able to, show tribute to their friend. I thought that was cool. And then Sami Zayn was in the segment as well, but who cares? So after that, we got a performance. We got a performance from Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny. Now, me being a 20-year-old millennial or whatever, I don't even know. I don't even know what my thing is. Whatever tag they put my generation with. But being a 20-year-old, I'm in these streets, so I know who Bad Bunny is. I'm not going to act like I don't know who Bad Bunny is because I'm trying to sound cool on Twitter, like a majority of wrestling Twitter and Instagram or whatever. I know Bad Bunny. I don't listen to him. I'm not a Bad Bunny stan, mainly because I just don't know what he's saying because he's rapping in Spanish, which is cool. It's different. It's a niche. It's cool. It's just that I don't understand what he's saying. The man could be rapping about world domination, but people would have told me that because I have friends that speak Spanish, so they would have told me that. But he basically was there to perform his song Booker C while having Booker C on stage dressed as G.I. Bro, WCW Lives On. The performance was cool. I mean, the song actually don't sound too bad. I just wish I knew what he was saying. The beat was going crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm into rap though, so like it wasn't nothing for me to get adjusted to. But I had saw on Twitter earlier this week that a lot of people were like losing their minds over Bad Bunny being announced on Twitter as the performer. They was talking about, oh man, I wish we had a Saliva or Limp Bizkit or a Avenged Sevenfold like it's fucking 2007. I'm sorry, but no. Just like them, no. I'm sorry, and no disrespect to those people and whatever. I'm not a rock person. There's certain people in rock music I listen to, mainly. I don't even want to talk about it. There's some people in rock I would listen to though. Marilyn Manson is one of them. I'll say that. The person that will appreciate that knows that. My bad. So yeah, he performed the song Booker T. It was great. Got pyro, all types of stuff, and that wasn't the only thing Bad Bunny did tonight. But I just had to talk about that because I thought that was pretty cool that they had him perform his song Booker T at the Royal Rumble when he was talking about how much he loves WWE and wants to work with him. But I just also want to talk about that shit on Twitter because everybody was losing their minds like they don't know who Bad Bunny is. Like he don't got a Cheetos commercial. I know y'all watch TV. He got a Cheetos commercial. He got a commercial with Snoop Dogg. He has a song with Cardi B. Like y'all can act like y'all don't know who he is, but we all know who Bad Bunny is. But anyways, after that, we start with our first of two Royal Rumble matches, the 30 women Royal Rumble match. Now, as many Royal Rumble pay-per-views that I have reviewed, which have been a lot, from 2016 to 2021, it's still hard for me to review the Royal Rumble because it's so long. It's a lot going on. People are coming out every minute and a half, and it's just like I'm not gonna remember everybody. And usually when I talk about the Rumble, I usually talk about just the important stuff, who came back, and the winner, of course, the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble being Bianca Belair, who was my pick to win, not my Rumble pool pick. My Rumble pool pick was number 27, which was Alexa Bliss, and I thought, oh, maybe she'll win, but nah, she got eliminated quick. But yeah, this honestly was my favorite out of the two Rumble matches, and it just seems to just be a theme for Royal Rumble. It's like the women just kill it in the Rumble matches more than the males sometimes, especially this year. The males Rumble match was just but this one was actually fun. We got a lot of returns that I was not expecting. The first one being Victoria. I honestly, she should have returned with the crowd. That would have been an amazing pop if she came back to a stadium full of fans going crazy for Victoria, and they sped up her theme song that had Nicki Minaj on the vocals. Naomi returned. That would have been a crazy pop. Naomi's one of my favorite women's wrestlers in WWE, so I was happy to see that. Looked like she got thicker too. But Bayley and Naomi were the 1 and 2 spot, and then Bianca Belair was number 3. So they had a sequence at the beginning of the match with each other that was pretty cool. There was actually all throughout the match there were spots of Naomi and Bianca Belair working together and then fighting each other. Like there was one part where they were literally flipping with each other. It was like they were in the tombstone position kind of, and then they were just flipping or something. It was doing cartwheels and everything, but it was pretty cool. That one, it was another part where Naomi was using Bianca Belair's braid to get back, and then they started rocking together in order to get back into the ring because they were literally hanging from their feet in the match at one point. Well, who else was a big return? Oh, Tori Wilson was came out there. I'm surprised Beth Phoenix didn't show up because she's been the other 2 Rumble matches she was in. She was in pretty much most of them, I think, except for maybe the first one. Let's see, what else? Who else am I missing? There was a cool part where Billie Kay throughout the match was trying to look for somebody to team up with her in the Rumble match. And someone like me, I'm not the biggest fan of the Iconics. I wasn't really a big fan, but I thought it was entertaining to say the very least. So basically, whenever somebody came out, she would just go up with her resume because that's her gimmick. She has a resume in order to get somebody to team with her because she can't team with Peyton Royce anymore. And that's pretty much what her gimmick is. So, who's the first person? I think it was Shotzi Blackheart. She came up to Shotzi Blackheart with with the poster, and she like almost hit her with her rocket from her tank. She tried it with Shayna Baszler, and Baszler like punched the 8x10 and pushed her into a barricade. And then when Jillian Hall came back, then she proposed that they team up, become Billy and Jilly. And that's what happened. More women started to come in the match. I'm trying to remember anybody else. Jillian Hall came in at number 8. Number 7 was Toni Storm. She just completely ignored Billy Kay. Then like I said, Victoria came back. That was pretty cool seeing her just in wrestling, because I was a big fan of her run in TNA. It was great when she was Tara and she had the little tarantula. That was, oh my god, top tier. Wow, chef's kiss, top tier wrestling right there. Let's see, more women start to come out, like Santana Garrett, Toni Storm runs into people with her ass. I don't know, is it the stink face, the running stink face, I guess. Peyton Royce came in. There was going to be a Iconics reunion until Ruby Riott stopped it, because the whole story is that Billy Kay is trying to join the Riot Squad. Let's see, what else did I miss? Rhea Ripley comes out, and I thought she was about to clean house, but she didn't. Different women start to come in. This is really hard for me to really sit up here and remember everybody that came in. I think we got a list. Matter of fact, I do have a list on Wrestling Inc., because that's my source for everything wrestling related. I can actually, okay, hold on. This is going to take me a second, because Wrestling Inc. is so busy. I lost count at the thing, which was the women's. Okay, here we go. Women's Royal Rumble order. Okay, this will help me better understand. So what was I? Jillian Hall. Number 9 was Ruby Riott. 10 was Victoria. Like I said, 11 was Peyton Royce. Santana Garrett, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley. Once Rhea Ripley came into the match, she started throwing people out, just going crazy. She ended up with, I think, like 5 or 6 eliminations total. After her was Dana Brooke, and then Tori Wilson came out. Lacey Evans. Mickey James came out with like a new attire. She was dressed up like a cowgirl, so I guess it's like part of her attire, I'm assuming. More women. Alicia Fox came back, and during the match, R-Truth came out and had a 24/7 championship segment in the Women's Royal Rumble, and Alicia Fox pinned him in the match and won the 24/7 championship in the middle of the Royal Rumble. I thought that was cool, and then she got eliminated, and R-Truth got his title back, but we'll talk about what else happened later. Jesus Christ. So after that, like I said, more women came out, and we finally get, let's see, Nikki Cross, Alicia Fox, like I said, Mandy Rose. Dakota Kai came out. She didn't last very long, which is crazy. Carmella came back out. Tamina Snuka, Lana, Alexa Bliss came out at 27. Ember Moon at 28. Nia Jax at 29, and Natalya at 30 because she won a match. There was actually a payoff with Lana that I thought was great, because she was getting put through an announce table for 2 months straight. She was getting put through an announce table by Nia Jax, and what ended up happening was after Shayna Baszler got eliminated, because Nia Jax and Shayna started actually looking like a team. And there was even a funny part where they were going to beat up Tamina, and she was like, oh no, she's family, before she just ultimately beat her up and I believe eliminated her. But I loved the payoff with Lana, because she started attacking Nia Jax, and Nia Jax just got angry, and Lana used that and let her eliminate herself and eliminated basically Nia Jax out the match. And I guess that's the payoff with them. I would prefer for Lana to get a tag team title run with Asuka, where Asuka pretty much does everything, and then Lana gets like a pin out of nowhere or something like that. But it was cool. Let me see what else happened crazy. Ember Moon came back, but she wasn't even in the match that very long. So we basically, eliminations happened, because it was a lot going on, and it wasn't a lot going on. So I'm just gonna get towards the end. We get to the final 3, which was like perfect. And Natalya got eliminated almost immediately. She was in the final 4. She didn't even get the, how they do the final 4 standoff where they do a camera shot. Natalya didn't even qualify for that. They got her up out of there. So we had a final 3. Ironically, being Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and how could I forget? Now that I remember Charlotte, Ric Flair came out at what was Lacey Evans? Number 18, right? number 18 comes out. Ric Flair music plays. I'm like, oh, here they go trolling. Ric Flair comes out, and then it's just Lacey Evans wearing the Ric Flair robe, and it would have been cold if she would have came out in full Ric Flair like attire, kind of. If she would have had custom attire made like Ric Flair, that would have been funny. Or if she would just came out with that man's music, that would have been hilarious too. But other than that, we get to the final three: Charlotte, Rhea, and Bianca, which is crazy because almost a year ago, that was like the title scene for the NXT Women's Championship, and Bianca Belair was the one that got third wheel in that. And now it's like, if you want to pay off to that, you have to have Bianca win. And that's when I was realizing Bianca was going to win it. So it came down to them three. They both start working on Charlotte, beating her up, and then they both eventually worked and eliminated Charlotte before Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair were the final two going at it, teasing, eliminating each other. There was one part where they both were hanging off the ropes, kind of like Shawn Michaels was when he was in the Royal Rumble, and he had his feet closed before they both got back into the ring. They both are countering each other's moves like it's no mercy. And eventually, Bianca Belair hits the KOD and eliminates Rhea Ripley, and she wins the 2021 Women's Royal Rumble match. And I thought, wow, that was great. That was amazing, because Bianca Belair is another women's wrestler I'm a big fan of. I enjoy her work in NXT. I enjoyed her match at the Mae Young Classic with Carby Sane. That was like her big first match that I really enjoyed. And I realized, like, oh, she has potential to like really be somebody one day. And yeah, I was very excited to see that. That was great. After the match, Bianca Belair cuts a promo. She's crying. She thanks her family, her mom, dad, her husband, Montez Ford of the Street Profits. She was excited, and you could visually see the excitement on her face. She was crying. You could even see her. She was like shaking, like she couldn't believe that she won the Royal Rumble. And it made me happy, because it's just like it's good when WWE decides to push somebody immediately instead of waiting like 6 months to a year to be like, oh, okay, let's finally go with this person, or okay, let's go with that person. You feel me? Like, they are actually trying to build somebody and actually using their momentum and actually going with it instead of stopping it and then continuing it later. They're actually gonna strap the rocket to her and send her to the top where she belongs. So this is great. Great. It's great. I'm happy for her. I'm happy that she won. Hopefully we get her versus Sasha at WrestleMania. That'll just be a classic right there. If we get Sasha versus Bianca at WrestleMania, that'll be a good match. So after that, we ended up with, what happened after this? Oh, it was a segment. Oh my god, it was a segment. Jesus Christ, it was a segment. They did basically, they took the kickoff show panelists and everybody. So like Charlie Caruso, I think JBL, Peter Rosenberg, Yuck. And then eventually R-Truth came out, and you could see in the background when R-Truth was talking that Peter Rose was signifying for somebody, and it was a ref. And when I saw that, I was like, dear God. So as soon as he saw R-Truth, as soon as R-Truth, like, I guess, saw the ref, Peter Rosenberg rolled him up and did the most nastiest pin I didn't ever seen a human being do. It wasn't no regular, man on top of man pin. No, it was what I be doing to women pin. Like, this man had, he had my man's legs up almost to his ear, and then he's on top. I don't know why I just tried to demonstrate that shit like it was like it was possible. But just imagine that. And that was a pin. And he won the title. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, listen, I have so much heat with Peter Rosenberg. If you know me, I have so much heat with Peter Rosenberg because I cannot stand the man. First of all, he ruins hip hop radio on Power 97 or Power 93, whatever the fuck. Kills that. I hate Peter Rosenberg. That's all I can say. Now he's doing WWE. Can't stand him on there either. Now he's the 24/7 champion. But it doesn't matter, because then we ended up getting the other world title match, last man standing match for the WWE Universal Championship. Kevin Owens versus our Tribal Chief, because I'm not trying to get beat the fuck up by Roman Reigns. Our Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, the what does Paul Heyman say? The reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world. And the match starts off crazy. It's a last man standing match. So as soon as the match starts, Kevin Owens hits Roman with the pop-up powerbomb. And Roman eventually gets back up. After that, they said screw the ring. Most of this match didn't even take place in a wrestling ring. And that's great. I love when last man standing matches actually go past the ring. Because like I said, a majority of this match was backstage, behind the stage, on the side of the stage. Literally, they barely wrestled in the ring. So it got to a point where they start using stairs. They're fighting towards the platform that they have used before on Raw when Kevin Owens got thrown off of it. And they're fighting where the fans are supposed to be, the screens or whatever, and they fight on top of that. It looks like at one point Kevin Owens is going to knock Roman over, but Roman stops, hits him in the eye. It looks like he's about to go for something. There's chairs involved, weapons used, but eventually Kevin Owens gets thrown off the platform again through the table. But eventually he gets back up. So once that happens, these men are fighting backstage, going at it, fighting, trying to kill each other. When out of nowhere, Roman just hits Kevin Owens with a golf cart or whatever, and I was in tears. Now, there was a big controversy on Twitter when this happened because wrestling fans can't just let wrestling be wrestling. There was a callback to when Sammy Guevara got hit with the golf cart when they were doing the little build up to the Stadium Stampede, the Elite versus the Inner Circle, and they were talking about how WWE stole that. But I'm pretty sure WWE was hitting people with real cars at some point. So I know somebody got hit with a shopping cart before that. Matter of fact, WrestleMania, that triple threat, a hardcore match with Kane and Raven and Big Show, I think. Was Raven in that match? I think it was Raven. But you know what match I'm talking about. Hardcore title where they were just fighting all over the damn place and somebody got literally ran the fuck over with a shopping cart. Not a shopping cart, a golf cart. So yeah, but anyways, that was actually pretty cool. I enjoyed that. He hit that man, and the sound it made was ridiculous. Like, I hope they paid Kevin Owens some good money for that. But after that, Roman is beating up Kevin again. He starts talking about Kevin Owens' fathers and grandfathers and everything, because that was like a part of the story that they introduced like on Friday, like the go home show basically. That, and then that just like set off a switch in Kevin Owens' head, and he immediately started going crazy. Hit a pop-up power bomb on Roman. I believe he hit him with a stunner. Pop-up power bomb on the announce table that they just happen to have backstage. And then he jumps off of like something and does I think he did a frog splash. Did he do a frog splash? Yeah, he did a frog splash because he did the swanton bomb off the forklift. He did a frog splash through the announce table. Roman eventually gets back up, but you can clearly see Roman is struggling to stay up, and thus Kevin Owens continues to beat up Roman. He puts him on another table setup, and this time gets a forklift, jumps off of the forklift, and does a swanton bomb through the table. Roman gets up somehow, and then eventually he just starts dragging him. He said, "Oh, you got blood on your face. It's not mine. That must be tribal blood." And then they're fighting backstage into gorilla position. But then they cut the camera away because they don't want us to see gorilla position in action. So they end up fighting. They show replays. And then when they get back, they're fighting on the stage. Kevin Owens looks like he's about to go for something before Roman counters it with the Superman punch. And then he spears Kevin Owens through the LED board on the Minitron. He spears him through it. Kevin Owens gets out because he rolls over and stands up. So after that, Roman was like, okay. He gets handcuffs, and they're fighting by, I guess, like where it's like right by the stage, but it's like where lights are and where the pyro and all that stuff, like that little open area by the stage. And they start fighting there. Roman looks like he's about to lock Kevin Owens' arm into the thing, but eventually Kevin Owens stops. He like throws Roman's head into like one of these lights, and then he locks Roman's arm into this platform like with the handcuffs, and Roman is stuck. And for some reason, Roman hits Kevin Owens in the nuts. And I feel like at this point, with the style Roman has been wrestling in WWE lately, you should be prepared for him to hit you in the nuts. He hits Kevin Owens in the nuts. Kevin Owens is down. Roman Reigns is still down on the ground technically, and the referee is counting, and then he just abruptly stops counting for some reason. I don't understand, because he wasn't standing up. He was on the ground. He just stopped counting. I was confused. Then Paul Heyman comes out, because I'm assuming Jey Uso was hurt, because he was supposed to be in a Royal Rumble match, and I'm pretty sure he was going to be involved in this match. I think he got hurt, because he hasn't been on TV in a good second. And I don't know. It's crazy. And after that, what else happened? Oh, yeah, we get towards the end. Paul Heyman is struggling. I don't know if this was a shoot struggle, or if this is like, to kind of build anticipation, but it kind of ruined the end of the match for me, honestly. Because that's the only complaint I had about this match was the end. Roman finally gets out of the handcuffs after like 50 minutes of Paul Heyman trying to get him out, when they could have just used like some bolt cutters or something to cut off the thing to save time. And as soon as that happened, Kevin Owens gets up, and then Roman just hits him with the guillotine, and then Kevin Owens passes out and can't get up at the count of 10. And Roman Reigns retains the Universal Championship. Like I said, the match was great. I enjoyed the match. It was great. Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens have great in-ring chemistry. They had a match at the Royal Rumble a couple years ago for the same championship, and I was like, wow, that match was fire too. I might actually go back and rewatch it. But I don't know. I just it's hard for me to believe that all the shit that Kevin Owens and KO have went through in this match, and that they got up from. Kevin Owens jumped off of a forklift and got up after not too long after that. He was able to get up probably around 5 or 6. He did a swanton bomb off of a forklift. He did a frog splash off of some platform. He was thrown off of a platform through 2 tables, and you're telling me what was able to take him out for the match was a simple guillotine after being kicked in the nuts, or being uppercut in the nuts. It's just like, you expect for me to believe that? Like, that was just not a good ending. I don't know what ending they could have went with, but it could have been something. You can't, that's like saying you had, I don't know, The Rock and Stone Cold in their classic match that they've had at WrestleMania, and The Rock wins with a DDT. It's just like, I guess, I get it. You're trying to protect and make Roman's guillotine look powerful, but no, you're not gonna. No. I just saw this man get thrown off of a platform through tables. I done seen him jump off of shit and he got up. I done seen this man get speared through LED Minitrons and he got up somehow. But you're telling me a guillotine is just what took him out, and I didn't enjoy that finish. But that's my opinion. Other than that, the match was great to watch. It was cool. The crowd would have been going crazy for this match if it happened in front of a crowd. So. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, though. After that, we get the main event. The reason this is called the Royal Rumble. Well, it was shown earlier, but we'll just say this. The 30-man Royal Rumble match. Now, like I said before, I'm not going to remember everything from this damn match. The match was yesterday. There's a lot going on. There was a winner. I remember who the first 2 people were, but I'm not about to say, individual. I do have my list. Hold on. Let me make sure I got my list. Hold on. Wrestling, come on. Y'all gotta be faster than this, man. Y'all gotta be faster than this. Damn. Hold on. There we go. Order of entrance and eliminations. Okay, so we get to a 30-man Royal Rumble match. It starts off with Randy Orton and Edge. They announced this on their little WWE Backstage Royal Rumble special that they were doing Edge and Randy, but the original numbers was Edge at number 2 and Randy at number 1, but instead they just switched it midnight and Edge started the match and Randy came out, and they immediately picked off from where they left off when Edge got hurt. And Randy, before the match even started, Randy and Edge are fighting all around the ring. They fight. And they fight all around. They fight inside the ring. They're fighting outside the ring. And then Sami Zayn comes out at number 3. He gets involved. Mustafa Ali comes out. He gets involved. Jeff Hardy comes in. He tries to get involved. He gets hit with an RKO before Randy Orton just RKOs everybody. But Mustafa Ali was just beating the crap out of Edge because he was talking about, you're trying to take a spot from me. Because I guess that's his new gimmick now, where he's kind of sounds like me a little bit. He's sick of part-timers taking over wrestling, which I am. And I wish people would keep the same energy when it's their favorite part-timers. But hey, another discussion for another day. Anyways, yeah, so that was cool. Eventually Edge and Randy somehow are fighting outside the ring, and Edge hits Randy Orton in the leg with the chair, and Randy Orton sells it like he really was legit. Oh my God. Wow, that okay, that's getting cut. Um, and Randy legit sells it like he tore his ACL and he's upset because he's pretty much taken out for the rest of the match. He doesn't compete until the very end of the match. And I was also thinking, like, are they not gonna do anything with the Fiend and Randy? Are they just gonna act like we didn't forget that he set Bray Wyatt on fire last pay per view? No, okay. So you know, more boys are coming. Basically, more bodies start piling up in the match. New Day comes out eventually. I like I said, I'm not gonna remember everybody that came out. The only surprise, there were two surprise, which really only one was a surprise. The other one was just like, okay, I kind of knew he was coming. My boy Carlito came out at number 8. That shit made me so happy because Carlito was the GOAT at one point. Carlito was the greatest mid-card wrestler you would want. He had charisma. He had a cool gimmick. The man would eat apples and spit it into people's faces. How much cooler can you get? And he had an afro. He was cold. He was the coldest Puerto Rican I knew at the time. And then you had Hurricane Helms, but it was just like, isn't he like a producer? So it was just like, yeah, cool, I guess. But yeah, Carlito coming back was great. I thought that was cool. Hopefully he does more stuff, but I think they're trying to put him in that MVP role. How MVP came back last year and then he became a producer, but then MVP he just went crazy because he created the Hurt Business, and the Hurt Business is like pretty much the only reason I watch Raw at this point. Let's see. Oh, Kane came back. Yeah, MAGA Kane came back. That was cool. Seth Rollins came back as well with some new gear. He even got a new jacket. He dripped out. He dripped out for real. Ricochet, John Morrison, Big E. Let's see. Damian Priest showed up unexpectedly. That was pretty cool. He had a little standoff with Kane. He actually eliminated Kane, but him and Kane had a standoff. He hit him with a bunch of his strikes, so I thought that was pretty cool. Nakamura Shinsuke is actually like back in his full attire where he's not wearing like the full pantsuit or whatever you call it. Like he's a rock star. He just got on the pants like New Japan Shinsuke basically. He even got his old theme song back. It's great. It's great. Big E and Bobby Lashley had a cool, oh my god, I loved it. It was a standoff with Bobby Lashley and Big E, and it just made me want a match between them two. Where they just basically, after Bobby Lashley just went on a frenzy, he just started eliminating people. That man, oh my god, the way he did Dominic was so dirty. He just picked that man up and just threw his ass out the ring. Like, get the fuck out of here. He didn't have to do Dominic like that. But him and Big E had a standoff, counter each other's moves, aggressively punching each other. You know, these are both the mid-card champions of WWE. So it makes sense, I guess, to an extent. The U.S. champion, the IC champion. That was pretty cool. AJ Styles was in the match too, and he used almost... Oh, how could I forget? Christian came back. Christian came back in full gear. No AEW. He came back full gear right after Hurricane, actually, 24. He came out full gear, and it was cool, I guess. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna like permanently stay as a wrestler. I hope. I guess he can go to TNA. He'd be a star in TNA because he was already a star in there before. But nonetheless, let's see. Anything else? Oh, Miz and Morrison were in the match, but then they got eliminated because Miz decided to destroy Bad Bunny's DJ set that was still on the stage from his performance, because they had a segment backstage before where the Miz said he could help Bad Bunny's career, and I'm just like, Bad Bunny could literally post a pic of his ass, like his whole ass cheek. He could post a picture of that, and I would probably get more likes and views than anything WWE will post that entire month. But I'm just saying, I'm just being real. They get eliminated, and then Bad Bunny does a dive off of the rope to the outside on Miz and Morrison, like a crossbody splash to the outside, and it wasn't that bad compared to what I've seen in the past month, like Snoop Dogg doing the dive off the top. It wasn't bad. He actually did well. Daniel Bryan was number 17. I had number 17 and 27 in my respective Rumble pools that I had entered, and I really thought Daniel Bryan was gonna win. So I was like, oh my god, I finally got a W. Basically, that's how I was feeling until he got eliminated, and then that just had me ultra sad. But we get, bodies start to pile up, bodies start to get eliminated. We get down to like the final few, in the match. Braun Strowman came out at number 30, and as soon as he got in, he was pretty much eliminating people. Eliminated Cesaro, Sheamus, even AJ Styles. He eliminated him on the opposite side of the ring, so almost couldn't help AJ, because all throughout the night he was helping AJ like eliminate people. He actually eliminated Big E himself, and it muffed him into the announce table. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Let's see what else. And then we get down to pretty much the last few people. Seth Rollins waits for Daniel Bryan to hit I think Christian it was with the running knee before he came in, hit him with a curb stomp, and then threw him out. And I was just like, oh damn. And then Sheamus had got eliminated earlier before by who eliminated Sheamus? Who eliminated Sheamus? It was Almost. That's who eliminated Sheamus. It was Almost. AJ Styles and Almost. Now I remember. Let's see. But yeah, Braun Strowman came out at number 30. I was just kind of like, ugh, Braun Strowman. So after that, Braun Strowman got eliminated after everybody pretty much helped him get eliminated, and then Edge was like the final person to eliminate him. Riddle was also eliminated by Seth Rollins, so that made me very happy. Then we get down to the final, what we thought was the final four, or the final three. Matter of fact, no. What we thought was the final four was Braun, Seth, Edge, and Christian. And what happened was Seth was telling Braun, he was like, hey, Braun, hey, let's take these two out. We're the future, yada, yada, yada. And Braun said, no, fuck all that. And he immediately took out Seth Rollins. Not eliminated him, but just like hit him with like a one-handed choke slam power bomb or whatever. And after that, Edge and Christian start jumping Braun before Braun was eliminated by both Edge. No, Christian and Braun were both eliminated by Edge inadvertently, which is crazy. What was it? So then it came down to Seth. I was about to say Seth and Rollins. Seth and Edge, and then they go at it for a second before Seth was eliminated by Edge, and then Randy Orton comes in, hits Edge with the RKO, and it looks like he's about to eliminate Edge before Edge counters it and eliminates Randy Orton. And ding, ding, ding. Edge is the 2021 Royal Rumble winner. He now joins the list of the two-time Royal Rumble wrestlers. That includes Batista, Randy Orton, Stone Cold, and that's the only ones I can think of at the time of this recording. This is gonna be a long video. But anyways, Edge won, and I got mixed feelings. And the reason I have mixed feelings is, granted, I loved Edge as a kid. Edge was an amazing heel, great wrestler, yada yada yada. I had Edge action figures essentially, and he was one of my favorite wrestlers at one point. But I don't know, I just wasn't too jazzed about him winning the Royal Rumble because he like was not doing any. Well, he was hurt, but still, he wasn't like featured. They didn't talk about Edge at any point, and then like the go home show of Raw, he announced he's in the Rumble, and then he wins. So now he's going to Mania, and it almost is confirming what I fear, and that's just that we're gonna get Edge and Randy for the WWE title at WrestleMania. And oh my god, I don't want to see that match. Their match at Mania last year sucked. Oh my god, I hated that match. That match really like soured me on Edge's return. Like I never wanted to see another Edge match after that match. That match was horrendous. It's like some of me is happy he won because hey, it's Edge, but then it's just like, no, it's just like you have so many other people that could have won and it would have made sense. You could have had Daniel Bryan win, and then we could have got Bryan and Roman at Mania and have Roman win because we're trying to keep Roman, you know, on top basically. And Daniel Bryan's gimmick right now is that he's trying to put everybody over because he keeps saying he doesn't know how many insert whatever pay-per-view it is he has left in him. He doesn't know how much longer he's going to be wrestling, yada, yada, yada. But then Edge won, and I was just like, I guess. I mean, y'all could be happy, but if Goldberg would have did it, y'all would have been mad. If Brock would have did it, y'all would have been mad. But because it's Edge, y'all not mad. I'm just like, it's cool. We done been there, done that with Edge. He done been world champion multiple times. He didn't win the Royal Rumble already, so like we done already been there and done that with him. But whatever, I guess. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I know a lot of people was talking about, the story for whatever match is going to be great. And it's like, whatever story you have in your head, you might as well erase it because WWE is not going to do it. But overall, though, for the most part, I thought the pay-per-view was great. I'm getting tired. I thought the pay-per-view overall though was good for the most part. I mean, the right woman won the Royal Rumble. I guess Edge won the male's Rumble match. So I mean, it's cool, but I just prefer for somebody else to be in that spot than Edge, because Edge could easily just say, "I want to face you at WrestleMania," and he would have had the match. So it's just like him winning the Rumble. It's just like, especially if it's leading to him versus Randy for the WWE title. Nothing about me is excited at the thought of that match. Yeah. But anyway, guys, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Do what you do to support me. Follow me on all my social media links down in the description below. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Peace.